Hello, my name is Neelanthi Vadivel. I'm the artistic director of TOTEM. Right now I'm doing an interview with What's Next SG, and we're really looking forward to you coming to see the show, so please come and see us. TOTEM. Every show at Cirque Du Soleil starts with a kind of a brainstorming. So they have a whole list of ideas, potential, scenarios that they could start, or themes, or stories. And Robert Lepage was chosen as the creative director of the show, and they presented him with the idea of human evolution and how he could present human evolution in a 2-hour circus show. And so he was very interested in that because he would be able to maybe have the acrobats inhabit the movement qualities of animals, drawing on the stories of human evolution through the different animal species, and then through to the walking human, flying human of the future. So he really drew on that aesthetic. And then he wanted to make it a bit more playful and not just a very linear or realistic journey. He wanted it to be a bit more evocative, and so he decided to then play around with the timelines, so it's not linear. We go back and forth a little bit, as well as across the globe, so everybody has a different take on where we come from. So not only that scientific take, but there is also the creation myths and stories. So drawing on First Nations and their creation stories is also a big influence in the show. Yeah, so it's the caveman, so it's the man of the past, but then on stage with the man of the future, flying through the air to the moon. What we do at Cirque is that we let the shows, we ask that the shows maintain the artistic integrity of the original conceptors, but then we also want the shows to evolve and keep growing. So my mandate as artistic director, and I'm the third artistic director on this show, is to see where the show can improve, or can take on a new trend or a new technological advance, or see what a new artist can bring to the show and inspire a new take on something as well. So we always let them grow and evolve. Always a chance that any of the artists that verbalize or vocalize in the show might throw something in that's a local reference. We don't tend to adapt show content for a specific market. We try to create the shows from the start to be multicultural, to be accessible by any group or any market that we go to. So TOTEM is no exception. What will be really fun is that there are some elements from the creation of TOTEM that are inspired by some of the cultures that are here in Singapore. So that will be nice to present those elements. Basically, you'll recognize yourself in that it's our journey, it's a human being is what's recognizable, not necessarily the Singaporean. Yes. Oh wow, if we did a Singapore-inspired show, it would be Okela, wouldn't it?
Oh, right, yeah.
I don't know. Oh, that's a big question. I do want to just kind of go back to the last question that you just gave me, just to say that what's nice about TOTEM is that multicultural aspect. The fact that Singapore has so many different nations living together, different cultures living together in harmony, that's something that's always been important at Cirque, is in that, we're traveling we're very little groups, just about 100 people on the road together, but we can be from maybe 20 or 30 different countries sometimes in those little groupings of 100 people. And every show is also inspired by the fact that that harmony is there, and all of those different flavors and influences are there and are present in all of those shows. So I think every show at Cirque du Soleil has a little bit of Singapore in it, if you like. So just to answer that. The next stop for us after Singapore will be Japan. We'll be spending about 1.5 years in Japan. We are also, of course, as every show does every year, we're integrating some new artists, and some artists will be leaving, and so there's always a bit of a shift there when we're doing that. We're also in the development mode for some new acts within the show, so that's that takes a lot of creative time for us and energy, but we love it. It's what drives us. So for me personally, that's what I'm looking forward to in the next few months, is working on those creative processes and working with these wonderful new artists right now.